Here we go for yet another one. Thought about this one. I've had it marinate in my head for a couple days, so I figure I'll try to come out with it. I don't know if it'll be any good, so who cares? Mencius Moldbug, selling out, and the shifting winds. Mencius Moldbug, of course, is one of the originators of the NRX movement, the neo-reactionaries. I haven't had any real beef with NRX folks, to be honest with you, but I think that we've seen people like Mencius Moldbug now coming out. He got I think a wife. Maybe it's just a girlfriend. I don't know. But we've seen, of course, the parties, like the thousands of LARPers who came out to go see him, probably hundreds. And we've seen Mencius Moldbug become more of a internet micro celebrity who's much more well seen, you know. And we see this, of course, it's the Substack revolutionary, right? The Substacker, of course, who I think has changed his views and whatnot a little bit, and was basically arguing for like kind of a different sort of monarchy, and fighting the cathedral and all that sort of thing. And now, of course, he's more visibly seen. He's not simply the guy who wrote, you know, random stuff, behind just some random things and not showing his face. But now he has received clout and everything. And of course, when you're a nerdy guy who hasn't been given a lot of attention, you're going to embrace that a little bit. I mean, this is the same type of thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse kind of seems like a nerdy kid who, was like part of one of those kids' police academy things, and, beat up a kid, against his sister, this and that. But now that he's gotten fame, a little taste of fame, and gotten a bit more clout, now we see that he's doing TikToks with his girlfriend, this and that. He's 18 years old. Now, I don't consider that selling out. I think that he may veer back and forth, but I think it's just what it is, is that people are just stuffy and everything else like that. And I've had my times of being stuffy and full of it. But anyway, my point is this is, it happens. Everyone sells out to some degree. I think you have to. Because otherwise you're just going to end up in a real bad place if you don't. You know, we see that nowadays with a lot of folks who are jumping ship in terms of, supporting Russia and whatnot. A lot of folks have, especially on Twitter, have kind of revealed themselves to be like, oh, well, man, it looks like Russia may lose. May lose. I'm not, but I think that, it is what it is. Now, for me personally, I'm never going to join the Ukraine tards either. I'm not going to join the NAFO fags. No, I'm not going to join them. That doesn't necessarily mean I completely subscribe to like the Zoids, I guess, if you will, or whatever you want to call them, the Z folks. But I don't like either one. I'm going to take the centrist position I think a lot of folks have. I think regardless, I think a lot of folks would say this in all honesty, is the damage has been done. With Russia turning off the tap to Europe, with China buying the oil, this is where we are. And now the winds have shifted, right? And it's going to be a cold winter coming up, I think it's important to remember that. Nord Stream 2, of course, now has finally been turned off. And, all the cope and the, the back and forth of, oh, well, Germany actually has this much. Oh, and it doesn't really matter. The choices have been made. And, of course, John Michael Greer just wrote about it a couple days ago, talking about the the issues with Europe and what they should do, about conservation of and basically insulating your windows, a lot of that sort of stuff. You can find John Michael Greer's blog and you can read it. I'm not gonna make you got I'm not gonna read it to you. But anyway, what I will say is, we see these winds are shifting. Of course, you could talk about the domestic issues of what's going to happen with Trump, this and that, with the whole. I haven't paid attention that much, to be honest with you, because I think it's ridiculous. It's like he's not going to jail, in my opinion. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I really don't think he will. For the simple fact of the matter of that, if he goes to jail, then a lot of other folks, a lot of other stuff may have to come out. And I just don't think the powers that be want to reveal that. I really don't. That doesn't make me some MAGA P, this and that. No, it just means that, the powers that be don't want to have information revealed. I think that's it. So I don't really think that's the case. I mean, people can talk about DeSantis and whatever. I think this is just the ebbs and flows of things. It's like, yeah, 2016, oh, it's so exciting. And I kind of caught the tail end of it. But now, of course, we see, my Dark Brandon and all that sort of energy from Dark MAGA. Well, Dark MAGA was first, and then, of course, people ripped it off and created Dark Brandon. But it's not really going to go anywhere, in my opinion. There's not much, in my opinion, to be celebrating. I think that we're just kind of slowly grinding ourselves along. I don't really think that it matters. I think a fair amount of quote unquote right wingers nowadays, of course, still want to support Ukraine. I don't understand it. It's like you want to join the World Economic Forum and everything because it, like I say, I mean, to a point, if they are literal Wignats and just like, yeah, we just we hate Slavs and everything else like that, so Ukrainians fighting the Russians and fighting the Bolshevik horde or whatever. Honestly, though, it's all just silliness. And I think people have created their own online personalities, and yeah, I have too to a point, but I'm at the point now where it's just like it's all just so silly. I don't have the energy to deal with it. I will pay attention to some of it and hear kind of the long and short of it, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, I remember hearing, I was listening to Kamala Harris speak yesterday. It was just embarrassing. Of course, just, her constant laughing, trying to make things calm and everything. And just like, we're going to, encode, Roe v. Wade into the Constitution and all this sort of thing. It's amazing to me how much Roe v. Wade meant and how it really doesn't matter because ultimately it's like where it matters. It's like, yeah, the military is still going to have reproductive health. Plenty of states are going to fight back against it. So why do you care? Roe v. Wade was built on lies. But anyway, like I say, that's I know that's from what was it, a month ago? This old news. It's just who cares? My point is this: is that the winds are shifting again, or they already have shifted, I should say, and we're gonna see where the next movement is, where the energy goes. Right? I've always said that. Right? Where is this energy going? It's always because it changes. That energy goes to where it goes. Right now people are trying to push Dark Brandon or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with this whole business of the midterms and whatnot. It's not going to make a huge difference, in my opinion. Democrats really don't have anything they can promise the world and promise, better infrastructure and promise, better jobs or whatever, but they can't really provide them. not in the same way that they used to 50 years ago. We're just going to go kind of grinding along, and that's all I really have to say. We're going to see where the energy goes and go from there. Anyway, I think that's all I got to say. See you later. Goodbye.